Hello everybody and welcome on today's video. Today I'd like to start a new project with oak trees and rocks. And I must say lately I saw a whole lot of huge rocks with trees on it, and I thought it was magnificent, but it's not always easy to find such a, well, rather small but high rock. So yeah, I thought maybe it could be possible not to build one, but because you can do that with cement and stuff like that, but how about that the trees hold the different rocks together? So that's what I'm gonna try today. Because I want this project to be untouched for quite a few years, I'm using a big pot. You see, this is my hand, and first thing to do is to add a layer of 1 or 2 centimeters of substrate. This is lava, little cat litter, lots of sand, because I've been collecting these oak trees here in the neighborhood in the sand grove, and I noticed that they really did extremely well there. So I thought let's add some sand, because they seem to like it. So that's one thing. Now on top of this layer I want to add different rocks, but how can you make a good and stable construction with this? It is very difficult. So I have another plan. Maybe add a little more soil, yeah, like so. Well, okay, so the plan is as follows. I'm taking this pot that I opened, okay? I'm going to place it lightly off center, because I don't want the trees to grow in the center. And now I'm going to position these rocks inside this pot, and I'm going to try to film this, but I'll have to move the camera, of course. So I'm just going to place them randomly on top of each other, like so. I'll give you a view when this is done. Of course, if I just do this, the trees will not be happy and will not be able to grow. So I'm going to add a layer. Now I'm going to film it. So you see we have a few rocks. I'm going to add some substrate on top of that. I'm going to shake this so that the substrate comes between the rocks. Maybe just add a little more. And then again rocks. Like so. And again a little substrate. And again rocks, and well, yeah, I guess you understand the concept. So I'm really trying to fill this up as good as I can with rocks. Of course it's easy with small rocks, but it's the big ones that I want. I'm going to need a small one here. Maybe already add a little more substrate, like so. No, it's not a good one. So when you do things like that, it's always nice to have a whole lot of rocks and stuff to choose. It's not an exact science, you cannot prepare very well for these things, but okay. So the idea, of course, is that the roots will find their way between the rocks, and we'll start to grab them on their way down. And that in a few years we will have the very pleasant surprise by taking off the pots, by removing it from the top, or maybe just cutting it open. It's another possibility. And then we'll see what the trees have done to make this a strong and stable construction. And of course the remaining soil will fall off in time, and we will be left with just the rocks and the roots. Well, that's the plan, you know. Plans, yeah, well, they don't always turn out to be as fantastic as we hoped, but at least we try. Okay, maybe a smaller one, because the pot is getting thinner here at the top. Okay, some more, like so. Pushing some rocks in. Not afraid to shake it, because I can't do wrong here. Okay, this one is too big. I think I reached the point where I should stop. So maybe room for a small one here. Okay, so that's it. So I said I was going to use oak trees, but of course it is now very difficult to put the oak trees in, and so I thought that I had no other option than to work with acorns. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to take some acorns, and I noticed that some of these acorns were closed, but some of these already had some little roots, first root sticking out. So of course that means that they are all healthy. So I'm going to use these ones, of course. And see, some of these already have some nice roots, so definitely gonna take advantage of that. So I'm gonna put them in all directions. I'm going to try to make sure that I have always something on the outside, because that should hold the rocks together. So like this. Few to the outside. Yeah. Well, there's a lot in the neighborhood, so no problem about that. Of course, when all these trees grow, it's going to become a fusion project, but well, if you have followed some of my videos, I guess it's not really going to surprise you. So this is okay. So now all the other ones I'm going to put randomly in the middle. And of course I'm going to close this, because of course the mice are amateurs of the acorns, and well, I like the mice too, but I mean, there's tons of acorns in the neighborhood, so I think they should get their own stuff. That's all they have to do in a whole day, so basically, yeah, I'm not asking for a whole lot. So that's it. So a thing that I noticed in previous videos was that I made the mistake to bury these things too much. Now, if you think logically, these acorns or other seeds, well, they don't bury themselves, because they have no arms and no legs and stuff, so they're just been sprouting because of the moisture. And I think that this is more than enough to make them grow. Okay, so of course we need to fix the pot here in the in the bonsai pot, and that's just a question of adding some soil around it. So why don't I put more soil in the bottom, I hear you ask? Well, because I hope that in a year or two, when these oaks have grown, I can lift the whole thing, place a new layer of soil at the bottom, and just put it back how it was, and that should do. So this way I don't have to repot the whole thing. I will have then a flat root base, which I can position on top of the new soil, which should make a nice radial and flat root pattern, so that we can enjoy the roots just on the surface as well. So that's the plan. Okay, well, it's done. I'm going to water this, and that's all I'm going to do, of course covering up with a screen. So again, quite a short video, but maybe a fun idea to realize for yourself. You don't need a whole lot of things, you just need rocks. Of course I have sand rocks, but I'm sure that you can find something that will do as well. And then I used acorns, but you can do that with maple seeds, which are easy to find. Yeah, I could have done it with field maples, but I think that I've already quite a lot of field maples, so I'm not going to do that again with maples. So yeah, it's gonna be oaks, and we'll see in a few months in the spring if everything grows, and then maybe next year we can start by already pushing some of the trees together to start the bundle. We'll see about that. In the meantime, thank you for watching, and see you next time.